Hi there, this is Manny with Classic Auto Repair. Today we're inspecting the bottom of a 1970 Chevy C20 pickup. Going over it for safety and reliability issues. So I'm going to again do what I normally do, start from the back of the vehicle, working my way to the front, checking for any kinds of problems. There's some cut wires here, probably when they had a trailer at some point connected here. Wiring looks okay, original wiring. I'll be taking a look at the electrical for the lights on the second video where we get on the top side, and I'll check all the brake lights, turn signals, things like that. But we're looking right now for overall condition or any problems, something that's caught or damaged. Moving forward, exhaust system has been replaced. It's got new brackets, mufflers, pipes all the way from the front of the motor to the back. So looking in good shape there. Rear axle, it's got some grease weeping, but this is normal, just normal mechanical grease collection. I wouldn't recommend touching it at this point, but what I would do is go ahead and have the fluid level checked to make sure that it's got enough gear oil in the axle so you don't burn up any gears. So on my estimate, I have included servicing this and checking for problems. The driveline itself is pretty dry. I checked the U-joints for play and they're okay. However, they do need to be lubricated. It's been a while since it's had any grease added to the U-joints, and there are grease zerks here where I can add grease. Once I clean those tips off, I can add grease to it. Back of the transmission, normal weeping of fluid. Transmission fluid's very viscous, so it tends to leak out of anywhere it can. I don't see any major leaks on it. The vacuum modulator is good and connected with the hose. It shifts the way it should according to specs. There's no slipping. Small little leaks here and there, but nothing again that I would concern myself with at this time. So you're looking pretty good there. I don't see any problems, frame damage. Looked for any kind of impacts or structural rust, corrosion, and none is present. So this is a real clean truck with no signs of collision damage, side impact. Floor pans are original and in good condition. They have not been replaced on either side, and don't show any signs of structural fatigue or any kind of holes that would be needing repair. Shocks have been on there a while, but they are not leaking, and I don't see any cracks in the bushing. So they may be 15 years old, but they don't show signs of deterioration on the back of the truck or the front. Again, these are Monroe shocks. They tend to last for a while. But if you notice the truck bouncing up and down a lot, you may want to swap out the shocks, starting with the ones on the rear and move in from there. On the front axle, well, let's go back to the back axle so I can finish. The last item on the axle are the brakes. Both sides have had the wheel cylinders replaced. It's got new pins, so more than likely the hardware has been replaced here. However, there's no way for me to inspect the internal wear or damage to the wheel cylinders or brake linings until I pull the wheels off and the drums off, so I can make that inspection. I have added that as a diagnostic item to have the labor available so I can go ahead and pull all four wheels off. On the front, I have to take off the spindle nuts, bearings, locks, and a few parts to get the front drums off of it so I can inspect it. So there is some labor involved in that I need approval. Emergency brake system is intact and functioning. So we're looking good there. Now let's go back up to the front axle. On the front axle, it's all original suspension components. The ball joints, control arms, bushings, everything is original, has not been replaced. I don't see excessive wear in the tie rods, drag link. Everything looks good, but it's just old. And what you're going to want to do is make sure that it's lubricated. They're supposed to do this on every oil change, but oil shops now don't have staff that's trained to perform this service, because new cars don't have serviceable suspension parts. They're lifetime, and there's no grease zerks. So all of these little grease ports need to be cleaned, and then lubrication grease added inside, so it's not going to be a metal on metal connection point. And that's your upper ball joints, lowers. I mean, they're all over the car, and they need to be lubricated every oil change. Okay, so the brake hoses have been replaced. The wheel cylinders have been replaced. So more than likely the shoes are new, but I cannot verify it until I get the approval to take all these parts off, as I mentioned about the rear axle. Let's see, so that's your front suspension and brakes. Looking at the motor mount on the transmission, it's in place and in good shape. Don't need to do anything there. The motor mounts for the engine are original and in good condition. They don't show any tears. They have some cracking occurring, but until one of them tears, I wouldn't worry about replacing those at this time. Starter looks like it's been replaced. I do see some oil leaking. If you look at the very top up there, the valve cover gaskets are leaking some oil. I have listed the replacement of the valve cover gaskets. However, you may want to try tightening the hardware first and seeing if that doesn't slow the leak or stop it completely before going through and replacing them. That's up to you. The spark plug wires are new, and the spark plugs are new as well. I have pulled the spark plugs out and checked the condition. They don't show to be fouled. They show to be burning cleanly. So they don't need to be replaced at this time. Maybe they did it just before your purchase, but they're in pretty good shape, and the wires are new, so that's good as well. Starter flywheel is in good condition. Don't see any teeth, chips out of it, so that's good. The oil filter's been on there a while. I'd recommend getting an oil change on it. A lot of this oil leaking, you're not going to be able to stop. The pan gasket is original and it is leaking. However, we don't perform that service here. You got to lift the motor up and do some things to get it out of there, and it's just not something we can provide a service for here. However, we can tackle the valve cover gaskets up on top. Again, just years of just driving the vehicle. It's an original motor and in relatively good condition. It's just you're going to have leaks like this, especially when the vehicle sets for a long time and then gets back on the road. The gaskets need to swell back up, and or you can tighten the fasteners, the bolts, and try to get a little bit more life out of them. Power steering pump looks good. The belts look good. Don't see a problem there. The fuel pump has been replaced here, and the hoses look good and in new condition. Don't see a problem down here. Cooling system looks like it's in pretty good condition. It's got a new radiator in it. I don't see any signs of antifreeze leaking from the core. So everything looks good there. This is your steering box, and I don't see any leaking out of the main shaft. The pitman arm is in good shape as well. Tires are wearing okay. Don't see any problems there. However, do notice that the tire diameter on the fronts is different than the backs. And this is what's causing the 5-mile variance in your speedometer. The larger the tire, you're going to get discrepancies in the accuracy of the speedometer. So just be aware of that you're cruising a little bit slower than your actual speed. I use my phone to accurately see the difference of 5+ miles per hour. Front of the truck is in good shape. I don't see any signs of collision at the radiator support. It's all original and original metal. Original bolts and hardware are installed. So again, a real clean truck that hasn't had anyone take it apart because of damage or collision, which is always important. This is a very clean example of an original pickup that has not been touched and hasn't been restored. And in some ways, that's even better because you know this is the way it came from the factory, and it's the way it should be. All right, well, this is my initial inspection on the pickup for the bottom side. I'll be starting a second video where I go over the safety, the electrical system, check out everything inside of the truck, under the hood, and report back to you. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.